Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're making a super cute diaper cake with an underwater theme. Start with a tray or a pan large enough to accommodate the size of your bottom layer. I've seen a couple people roll them up, but I prefer the look of the shingled layers. Doing it this way not only looks better, but it also doesn't require a million rubber bands and the recipient won't have to deal with unrolling all the diapers later on. Get as many as you can together for the general shape, then add a cardboard tube in the middle. This will help you align and center the layers that follow. Once you have a good base for a circle, tie a string around it to keep everything together. If it looks like you have any gaps, you can add more diapers to fill it in and create a better shape. Once you have it as full as you want, make adjustments to the positioning of the diapers until you have a perfectly round spiral. Make sure your string is nice and tight. Cut any excess from where you tied it, as you don't want this to show later. Start your next layer by shingling around the center tube on top of the layer you just made. If you have a second pair of hands to help hold things in place for you, it'll make your life easier, but if not, do what you can by tying, adjusting, retying, adjusting, and so on. You want to make the string tight enough to hold things together, but loose enough that you can still make adjustments where you need to. And just like the first layer, add and reposition as needed until you have the round spiral shape you want. A good way to tell where adjustments need to be made is if you look at the amount of each diaper showing on the outer edge, you want to make sure that it's approximately the same for each diaper all the way around. Repeat with the top tier. You'll find what technique works for you, and also as the tiers get smaller as you go up, it'll take less time with each layer. Doing this with all the adjusting is really the most time-consuming part of this whole project. Now that I can see how tall my top layer is, I can cut the cardboard tube. I pulled it up a little before I cut it so that I could push it down out of sight. This cake has to travel, so I'm gift wrapping it. I'm putting it on this tray to help with spacing. I then cut some ribbon to go around each layer. I wanted to position the ribbon at the bottom of my cake layers, so I went around and moved the string to the bottom as well so that it could be hidden behind the ribbon. Next, I hot glued the ends of the ribbon together. An extra set of hands is especially helpful here. Thanks, honey. This turquoise is a great color, but since this is for a baby girl, I decided to add a small pink accent ribbon as well. It is so important to note here that I'm not hot gluing anything to the diapers. The ribbon was hot glued to itself. This ribbon is being hot glued to the other ribbon, and the additional things are for the most part going to be hot glued to the ribbon or each other. Make sure that you go back and add hot glue to any of the loose edges where the blue ribbon is joined to keep it tidy and give support. The pink ribbon is just decoration, so don't pull it too tight or you'll create waves in your blue ribbon that you won't be able to get out. Repeat this process with your other layers. When I did the larger layers, I went ahead and added a bead of hot glue at intervals around the band, maybe like 4 or 5 in the middle layer and 6 or 7 on the bottom. You can see I still ended up with some waves in my blue ribbon from where I added the hot glue to attach the pink ribbon, but that's okay. Now we're ready for the fun part. We can start adding decorations. This had a keychain attached to it, so I was able to stick that between the diapers to hold it in place and then just glued it by the tag so that it wouldn't be on the toy itself. This one had a card I was able to slide under the diaper layer, but I did put a tiny bead of hot glue just to make sure it stayed. I found these little wooden fishies, but they're flat, so I attached a craft stick to the back so that I could just tuck it behind the ribbon. I found some little shell rings. I tucked the ring part under the layer of diapers and just added a bead of hot glue to the top edge to hold it. This guy had to move up. You can really get as creative as you want with this. I just kept adding things. I had some things for the top of the cake that were kind of heavy, so I made a platform by hot gluing a piece of cardboard to a piece of leftover tubing that I could then tuck into the center of the one that was already in the middle. I was looking for things to put on this cake, I saw this woven rope that looked like a fishing net, and it was perfect, but this project is probably the only time I'll ever need it, so I didn't really want to spend that much on it. What I ended up doing was buying a spool of twine and making it myself. So there you have it. If you guys make your own diaper cake, or if you have comments about this one, I would love to hear what you have to say, so feel free to leave comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.